our presentation, final presentation for NCGrowth SmartUp. And today our presentation will be for Bowman Vineyards and Farms, and Adam Noel, the analyst, will be presiding over this. And again, I wanted to thank you all for coming, and we'll turn it over to Adam.
All right, thank you, Kellye. Let me share my screen. So, welcome to my presentation for the Bowman Vineyards and Farms website and marketing project for fall of 2021. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So a little background on the company. Bowman Vineyards is located in rural South Carolina outside Charleston. It's a Black-owned and family-owned business and is part of the Gullah Geechee culture of the lower Atlantic coast. And they primarily grow muscadine grapes, as well as they host medium-sized events and wine tastings. So the project team consists of myself. I study graphic design at North Carolina State University. I'm in a grad program there. My manager, Kellye, as well as our client and business contact, Matt Bowman Jr. from Bowman Vineyards. So a little bit of the project overview. I was tasked with creating an updated website that will better reflect the history and story of Bowman Farms, its family, as well as the culture surrounding it. The website will address Bowman Vineyards and Farms' online presence, their social media, their event capabilities, and their products, and will also help the company develop a sound strategic plan, as well as advise on marketing and social media planning. And here on the right, we'll get a closer look at this later, but this was the original website here. So a little bit of the timeline. This is a 3-month project, but it's sort of gone into 5 months. But just a little bit of the end of October is when we started, and now we're just in the beginning of January or February where we're ending. And so most of the work was done here between November, December, and January. So some of the steps we did along the way, we started with just a high-level overview, talking about all the various things that we could want from the website, sort of blue sky ideas, and sort of narrowing it down into these initial website prototypes I created using Adobe XD. These were not online, but just so we could click through it and sort of see what stuck. So moving forward, we sort of finalized on these 5 essential website elements we needed to include. An Our Story section, products and price list, tasting and tours capabilities, a photo gallery, and contact information and directions. And so here's a look at the website. So the Our Story section has some improved copy, extended branding into the site, more pictures showing the family in the vineyard. And something of note here is that the branding was changed a lot from the original website to better market towards a female demographic. The product section, we've added wine information, branded product visuals, as well as including a price list. Another note about this is Bowman Vineyards works on a call to order model currently, but this lays the groundwork for a future e-commerce solution in the future. A little bit of the tours and tastings, added copy about event capabilities, tasting price list, as well as integrating the social media feed into this section. And what this allows Matt to do is he can now put new updates regarding events that are happening at the vineyard without having to go into WordPress to change the website. Including a photo gallery, lots of visuals of the family, the vineyard, and the area, get a closer look of the business itself. And a contact page with information, as well as a map widget to let people know where to go. And so some of the strategy with this website, it was built on WordPress and it could be updated by the client, but instead of needing to go into WordPress, we wanted to make sure that it had some sort of social media integration, allowing Matt to change and update things without having to go into WordPress itself. And some of that social media strategy, Matt has a lot of businesses that he operates. And so what we wanted to suggest is that he creates Bowman Vineyard specific accounts. And we will actually be conducting a new project for social media development of the Bowman Vineyards brand on social media. And then that will tie directly back into this website as well. I visited the location during December. I talked to Matt, I talked to other members of the family. I got a lot of eyes on the project, and through that, I got a lot of useful feedback, as well as learned a lot about the history of the vineyard, as well as the Walterboro area. And that was good. And also moving forward, the next project we want to do is a strategic marketing plan. There will be a marketing expert who will take over and create a foundation, or lay the foundations, do the heavy lifting for developing a large scale social media presence that can tie into this website, as well as improve the marketing for Bowman Vineyards. Thank you. But I have another presentation for everyone. So I've created this deliverable here. This is a document that basically catalogs all the different steps I took along the way, some of the research that went into this, and this will let me talk about a little bit more of the nitty-gritty that went into this. So cataloged in chronological order, starting with the old website. And so one of the first things we noticed about the website is how long it was in terms of scrolling. And so one of the first things we wanted to do was break up the individual sections into different pages, as well as sort of make the branding a little more cohesive. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So starting again with that high level overview, there's a lot of very big blue sky ideas initially, but we wanted to sort of also look at, so here are some of the first research or examples that we pulled of other vineyards from the surrounding area in terms of what would sort of be expected from a vineyard website. So that went into my first prototype here. Those prototypes, I worked a lot to make sure that there wasn't any scrolling involved. Everything was just on a single page, and including the brand, making sure to clean things up a lot, make sure it's very legible, the information is presented in a readable way. And that transitioned into the first actual WordPress website, which was the first one to actually be built on the platform. And that included some more information as well, started getting into the products, started getting, another thing we wanted to do at first was create a calendar showing the events, but that actually, we learned that the business does not necessarily have enough events for the calendar to be appropriate. Here's some more research we did.
Can you repeat that?
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. I guess I cut out there for a second. Yeah, so along one of the steps along the way, at one point we wanted to include a calendar showing all the events, but since Bowman Vineyards is a medium to small business, we realized that the calendar wouldn't necessarily represent the amount of events that they're hosting. So instead, we wanted to create a social media integration so that Matt could post about a single event, and it wouldn't be a calendar where it'd need like 30 days for every event to happen, which was not appropriate for the events that are taking place. Here's some of the research that went into that afterwards. So after creating that website, one of the things that we thought about was how to include more information about the history, as well as how to present this information in a more readable way. Some of these references that we looked at, this is a Black-owned vineyard, and sort of talking about some of the history from that vineyard, and that was really useful in terms of looking at how to do this in a way that is very readable, as well as this Wine Trails website, which I thought actually did a great job of taking a ton of information and putting it in a very readable way. And I almost borrowed that header exactly into the new Bowman Vineyards website. And what that does is it makes it so that there's not a big landing page with a single photo. Now there's a header that has that photo, but you're dropped immediately into the information. Sorry, someone is calling me. My bad. I should have figured out a way to silence that. Okay. So moving forward, what we wanted to do was for the Bowman Vineyards page, I sort of updated the branding a little bit. This was part of the green theme here. And what we've, sorry. And what we did after that is we wanted to focus more on that female demographic. And so what I did is I changed it from a green website to a red website, and that was for the female demographic. And also, red is the most eye-catching color, and so we wanted that to be the look of the new website as well. And that's it. And now you can take a look at the website here. And so this is a demo of the website. It's not currently live, but this lets you see the actual adaptivity of the website, where it can be viewed on a mobile device as well as on a desktop of any size. This is something that I spent some time formatting, making sure that the website was viewable from all devices. And it has, you can navigate through the different tabs. And that is my presentation. Thank you.
Could you explain that a little bit more, Adam, about the responsiveness?
Sure. So responsive websites basically change their layout and their size depending on the size of the window you're viewing it in. Websites before were only made for desktop computers, and once people started mostly using phones, that became an issue. And so adaptive website design means that whether you're on a phone or on a desktop, the website will actually adjust accordingly. So this is a phone view, the smallest possible view it has, and all of those icons, those tabs up on the top become a list like this, and that means that it can fit on a phone screen. And these photos, which used to be to the right, are now on the bottom. All of this happens automatically.
Very nice. Very nice. I mean, that's probably one of the best features that I've seen. Awesome. So awesome presentation. Are there any comments? If we'll let Matt, as a client, if you want to give some comments or feedback, Matt.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you, Adam, for all the hard work that you did, and the entire team, to Kellye and to the entire organization. What really jumped out at me throughout this process is the fact that as a family business, we were ushered. You helped usher us into the 21st century, and for that, I'm appreciative. I think that our web presence, while it existed, wasn't tied to a brand, and it definitely wasn't mobile friendly. So when you look at the features and the actual benefits that get derived from having a brochure type of a website that may or may not have been used, to one that is interactive, one that ties to social media, one that is mobile friendly. Because if you're not mobile friendly, you're almost wasting your time. And so thank you for doing that. I actually think that the lack of mobile friendly capabilities on the last site was even more of a negative. It's probably better to have no website than to have a website that's dated and doesn't have the capabilities to do dynamic changes and those sort of things. So I appreciate that. The other feature that I liked about it was the other website was built, branding was really built for our family. And one of the things that you didn't talk about, because I think it's probably something I can speak about, is the shift that we as a family did from looking at this as solely a family enterprise for ourselves and our friends who also happen to be family, and really turning it outward. A good example of this is the after almost 7 years, we finally did a wedding, and we allowed outsiders, customers, clients to come in to use the facility. While it might seem like a small thing to us, on Instagram, it's gotten hundreds of hits, and it's part of the reels that people actually like. So as part of this process, not only have we gotten the tangible benefits, the websites, the and analyst support, the meeting other organizations in our area, but the most important part is probably the movement that we had as a family over this process.
Awesome.
And so hopefully that came through, because
It did. I'm so happy that you touched on that, Matt, because one of the things that we like to try to do is to meet you where you are and try to solve unique challenges. There's not no cookie cutter way of being able to work with our clients. So I'm happy that we were able to come in and work with you to identify, what the issues and challenges are and try to help you solve those. I would like to give kudos to Adam as well. He's done an amazing job at being flexible, being creative, thinking out of the box. Because when we first approached this, we really didn't know how much we could tackle. And so he's done a really good job. I think managing both of us, Matt, in this process. And so thank you for, for your diligence in that. But Matt, again, thank you for allowing us to work with you. I've been trying to recruit you and Bowman Vineyard for at least 2 years now, and we've finally been able to bring you on board. I'm excited to say that you're part of the NCGrowth family now. We have some additional projects that we want to work on, and Adam spoke to it as well about the strategic planning and the marketing. Matt, you are out there a lot, and we need to be able to tap into your, where you are and tie it into the site so that folks can learn more about the vineyard. And so hopefully once we get started on the next phase of this project, we'll be able to tie in some other loose ends. And so again, we look forward to that. And hopefully we'll be starting on that pretty soon as we can identify some additional talent to work on that. But you're not going to get rid of Adam. He's still going to be around to help work on the next phase a little bit. But thank you from me and from the rest of our staff for allowing us to come in and to help. Mark, is there anything that you'd like to add or comment on?
No, it was great to see the final product, and of course I've heard Kellye provide updates, but I hadn't seen anything, and it looks good. I'm gonna have to. A question for Matt: who does the fulfillment for your products?
So we are a family business.
Yep.
And so the fulfillment is handled by my sister and my mom. The winemaking and the operations are handled by my father, and the outreach and the public-facing side is handled by me. I think that is one of the best skill set. I think that's the best skill set that you all bring to the table, is the ability to work through the nuances of a family-owned business. It is not easy. It's not in a textbook. Lines of authority are blurred. I would tell you this is a blurred lines operation. And while you may think you're talking to a decision maker, you'll quickly find out there are multiple decision makers, situation dependent. But to answer your question on fulfillment, it is my mom and my sister who handle fulfillment. Although if you were on the ground, the real answer would probably be whoever happens to be supporting my father that particular time is in charge of fulfillment. So if an order comes in, all of us are cross-trained to handle fulfillment. All of us are cross-trained to do picking of grapes, to do fermentation, to do racking. So it truly is a cross-functional team. But on paper, the people responsible are my mom and my sister for fulfillment.
Thank you.
So hopefully when we get this marketing and social media kicked off, we'll have a lot more need. The need will be greater for you to start hiring some people for additional fulfillment. The family won't be able to move fast enough.
Yes, and we're taking, and for Mark, I don't know how much you've heard of this, but we're actually looking to leapfrog from where we're at, and so the leap might be pretty substantial, pretty fast. We have models of businesses that have come after us, but that are still kind of near peer mentors to us, and that's like Uncle Nearest and the work that they've done, the association that we're a part of. So we have several members who've been able to leapfrog on the brand side. Our approach has been different. We wanted to be seed to bottle the whole time, and we've done that successfully. And so I think the next phase is going to scale. And that's what I appreciate Kellye's guidance on and Adam's guidance on, is helping us go to scale.
That's good. Awesome. So unless there's some additional questions, Adam, do you have anything you'd like to add before we close out?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to Matt. It's been a pleasure working with you this whole time. I know you're a very busy man, always going between different parts of the country, but you always manage to find the time to say hello to me every week, and for that, I'm thankful.
Good job. Good job. Awesome. So, Matt, we will have this presentation recorded and made available for you. So we'll make sure we have that available for you. And thank you, everyone. I'm sorry, was there anything else?
Yes, ma'am. Before I leave, we are, we have to put in a gratuitous plug. All the artwork that you see behind me is for sale at Bowman Vineyard Winery. So in addition to wine, jellies, agricultural products, we also have art, music. We call it the look, touch, and feel of the sun. So that's what we are. So thank you.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be Matt unless he's going to get that plug. I love it. I love it. True marketer for sure. Thank you guys so much. And you guys have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.